All right, good afternoon, Bowie Board of Directors. I am unaware if you can see my face or not due to this presentation. However, my name is Quinton Johns, and I'm very grateful to be here. I have been working under your Chief Marketing Officer in the marketing department for the past 12 weeks, and I'm excited to present to you guys our findings and what we have been able to achieve by increasing our social media presence and awareness. So without any further ado, we'll jump straight in. So first off, I'll go over the Chief Marketing Officer's goals that were given to me at the beginning of these 12 weeks. The first goal was to spend the entire budget allotted. The entire budget that was given to us was $5,000 a week for 12 weeks, which comes out to $60,000. The whole entire budget was supposed to be managed wisely, meaning we're supposed to spend a roughly 25% or 20% on content, and then 75% or 80% on promotion. So with that, we were able to use our budget wisely and be able to decide which is the best way to go with it. The third was to grow brand awareness, meaning to increase our followers, our fans, and to have more of a following throughout our social media sites. The fourth was to increase engagement, meaning the amount of followers that were liking our posts, the amount of shares that we're getting, the amount of comments, and therefore increasing the amount of publicity that our posts were receiving through those that were seeing it. The fifth was to increase sales, overall sales revenue, by increasing the amount of money that we were able to make through this. And then finally, to outperform our peers, the other marketing professionals within the business. So those were the chief marketing officer goals. From that, we were encouraged to make our own goals. And these were the set of goals that I came up with myself. My personal social media goals were to increase social media following by 100%, have consumer preferred brand with Buoy, and ROI on every paid social media post. So increasing social media followers by 100%, I cannot say that I achieved that goal because I forgot to keep track of how many followers we had at the beginning. However, I can say that at the end of this, we have officially 146,000 plus followers after these 12 weeks. So I believe we started out with around 50, so that is over 100%. Consumer preferred brand, this was not a goal I was able to measure perfectly. However, I do know that we were able to increase awareness and to increase conversion rates, meaning that people were able to spend money and buy our product. And finally, ROI on every paid social media post. I had a goal at the beginning that I would not waste a single dime here at Buoy if it was, and by wasting, I mean putting it into a product that would not bring or produce a return on revenue. So, with that, out of 81 posts, 76 of those had complete 100% ROI, and only 5 of them had lower than 100%. So, Buoy marketing plan. The Buoy marketing plan that we came up with at the beginning, to be very short and quaint, was to produce natural content to increase conversion rates. After trial and error, we were able to see that natural content was outperforming paid for content, meaning photos that were taken by high professionals. Rather, photos that were taken by people like on their iPhone were producing more, or having higher conversion rates and receiving more likes across the board. The second was to target the right audience. Buoy has a wide audience of people, and so targeting the right audience was something very important to us and something that we needed to make sure we were doing. Therefore, we targeted females and males between the age of 18 all the way up to 30. By doing this, it was able to help target the right people and not waste money on people that were not interested in the product. The third was to post at the right time of day and week, which I'll go into more depth in the next slide. And the fourth was to use the best suited platforms, such as social media and paid influencers. Here in the next slide, I talk about the strategy and content that we used. So the strategy that we use were micro influencers and paid social media. So what I mean by paid social media is using paid social media posts to be able to promote it and have our posts come up at the top of the feed when people were searching for us. And then specific posting times and dates. Like I said, this is the where I'm going into more depth in it. We decided to post specific times of day, such as 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock. These specific times around these areas were times that we saw the highest conversion, highest interaction rates, and where people were liking our posts, following, and more people were on social media. And it seemed to work out the best for us. So after trial and error, we found out that those times were the best, especially on days of Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So what worked in the end was the amount of conversion we were getting on the right days. We realized that we should be using only 40%, we should be using 60% micro influencers because they go out and they tell people about our product, and only 40% on paid social media posts. What didn't work was trial and error. We tried working with a few influencers that would charge around $2,500 a post. However, we didn't see the market saturation that we wanted, so we decided to let them go. So overall, the secret sauce, we're using micro influencers such as world travelers. We're using our favorite platforms such as Facebook and Instagram, and only using about 40% of our budget for paid social media. Our channels that we used were Facebook, Instagram, and paid influencers. Facebook was kind of, it's not the first, but it's the one we went with and to use. And then Instagram was our main one. And then paid influencers, like I said, were social media posters such as world travelers. I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna have to move fast here. But our crisis management, our day-to-day crisis, we had people asking about bags and what bag was good. We had 100% consumer satisfaction over the past 12 weeks. The Taylor Swift crisis, I'm sure most of you know, so I won't go into depth about it, was managed with a swift reply on social media to the accusations and posting them as false and making sure that people saw that we had complete transparency on our production process. We also posted that week and gave tours of our production facility to show that we have humane areas and we are treating people correctly. And the overall effect, we still have yet to see how it will affect us, but it seemed like it was positive. The overall growth, I have these numbers on the side, the totals. I'm going to have to skip over them. However, I will say that we achieved and overachieved all our goals. The overall revenue was over 352,000 with a return on investment of 494%. The allocated budget for us was just shy of 60,000. Like I said, the amount used was 59,243 and the amount saved was 752. So the overall concluding remarks we learned which platforms work the best, which organic, we learned about organic versus paid and which is the best for Buoy, and we learned how to use our influencers correctly. So like I said, if there's any questions, feel free to send me any notes and I will be more than glad to talk to you and figure things out. Thank you.